The water world of Manan was a speck on the rear sensor of the Calf Howder when I received a message from the other team of the Imperial Reclamation Service from G5623. The message stated that they had found some useful information about my expedition from a native source, and have invited me to visit their office. With only 2 maps left to find, we arranged for Calf Howder's hyperspace course to G5623. Approaching the green orb, surrounded by a fleet of star destroyers, the Calf Howder was hailed by the border officer stationed. A G5623 is strictly prohibited to enter without proper clearance codes. This is due to the lucrative business and the labour of Wookiees. If an unsanctioned transport arrived on the planet, it would lead to a breakout or bring the Rebel Alliance in to start an insurrection, both an undesirable outcome for the Empire. After sending our clearance codes we obtained from the ruling council, we entered the atmosphere of G5623. A G5623 is the imperial designation of the previously named planet Kashyyyk. For the betterment of the galaxy, the Empire annexed the planet to quiet down the brutish and barbaric Wookiee tribes. The planet has many resources to better the galaxy. Unfortunately, the Wookiees are too protective of their warshed trees, and those who interfered with the Empire were placed as indentured servants to be used for construction jobs across the galaxy. I was astonished in the size of the labour camps, stretched out across the beach entering the forest ahead. I knew the Empire had many on its leash, but the sheer scale is unnerving. The Calf Howder landed on the bay of the Imperial outpost, greeted by a line of stormtroopers guarding an old friend, Imperial Historian Vincent Dawnteller.
Arthur, so good to see you. Hope the Emperor hasn't gotten you worn out chasing those star maps,
Dawnteller said enthusiastically. Dawnteller, a pleasure. How is his shoulder?
Well, I can't shoot straight, but it's not like I could do that before anyhow, he said jovially.
Dawn, now, you didn't just bring me here for a catch-up, did you?
You see, I came across a Wookiee of whom was raving about the Infinite Empire and the star maps. In fact, the Wookiee handed himself into the Empire. When that sort of thing happens around here, we bring it in for questioning and ask about nearby tribes and the layout of the Shadowlands. This is when I caught wind of the Wookiee and kept it out of the labor camp. Do you wish to see it?
I most certainly do. Entering the Imperial outpost and a few corridors later, Dawnteller and I made it to the prison cell the Wookiee was currently chained to. This isn't necessary. He came here willingly.
You can't be too careful with a Wookiee, Arthur. I've seen too many people being ripped apart by these beasts. This is what other Wookiees call a Madclaw.
The scarred and maimed black Wookiee agitated the ground. What is your real name? I do not remember. I am Madclaw. I heard you were looking for the Empire. Yes, machines asked the Empire of an infinite scale. I suppressed a knowing smirk. It was clear that the Wookiee had mistaken that the machine was asking for our galactic empire, not for a cartoon infinite empire. I played along with this facade and asked why the machine was looking for the empire. It wishes to know what the builders have achieved.
And how do we know that this isn't some elaborate trap sprung by your tribe?
Dawnteller pressed. I have no tribe. I am Madclaw. I am in debt with my life by the machine. By tradition, I must abide by the whims of its mechanical heart. It wishes to meet your empire. That is my promise to you. What do you get out of all of this? After all is done, I wish to be immune from imperial servitude. I already serve the machine. Moments later, we made our way to the Shadowlands, with the Madclaw as our guide. Our team consisted of a squadron of stormtroopers, Dawnteller, and myself. The twisted forest was too dense to fit any vehicle through, so we journeyed on by foot. The light from the sun was obfuscated by the clouds of leaves. The ground was moist and the air humid. Songs and cries constantly emitted from the overgrowth. Hours had passed and the forest was getting darker and the path narrow. Eventually, we had arrived at the location. Standing tall in the open space was a pyramid-shaped sculpture, roughly 17 meters in height. To the right-hand side stood the star map. As I turned to the sculpture, an image emitted from the holoprojector. Standing before me, a humanoid I have never seen before. It stood proud, chin up, looking down from its eyes attached from its 2 horizontal stalks. The hologram bellowed in the Rakatan language. "This is not the Empire I desire." The Madclaw flinched, ducking his head. "This is the Empire. The Empire that spans across the galaxy, rules the stars, as you asked." I took a step forward and announced, "I am Arthur Prowse. I represent the Imperial Reclamation Service of the Galactic Empire. You are not Rakatan." "No. No one is anymore. No one except a handful know the past existence of the Infinite Empire. Are you inside a Wraith box?" "I am not imprisoned. I am neither flesh. I am the machine what birthed worlds." "What do you mean by that?" "The builders constructed me to reform this world. Before intervention, this planet was incapable of sustaining sufficient levels of produce to be exported across the galaxy. I have since malfunctioned. One could theorize that the supergrowth of Kashyk's forest is a direct result."
Well, this is surprising. I doubt any Wookiee would support such a claim.
"You are not Rakatan, yet you disturb the star. Why should I let you continue?" "I wish to learn more about your builders. I have been intrigued by the Infinite Empire for a long period of my life. I wish to restore knowledge lost in time. It's what I do. It's what I've dedicated my entire life to do." "How curious. There is always an agenda. Those who seek the star map wish to gain the power of the stars. That is an empire's ultimate goal, Imperial Historian." "Yes, the knowledge would benefit my empire, but the name of the Rakatan Empire would vicariously live on. Infinite in the era of your empire, maybe, not the galaxy. Who is to say in the eras to come that someone won't be digging up your bones, historian?" "So you'd rather let the Rakatan Empire die in this forest?" "You are not the first to make such a promise. Revan had done so twice." "Revan? Darth Revan was here twice. Why? If he had the location of the Star Forge, why go seeking the star maps again?" "Revan returned, but changed. Different. Twisted by the Jedi. Revan returned with false memories of a soldier from the Rillion, with Jedi companions Jolie Bindo and Bastila Shah." The realization struck. The Padawan who was having visions wasn't foretelling the location of the star maps, but was recalling memories of their own past. The Padawan was Darth Revan. The fact the Padawan could become a Jedi so quick and be accepted into the order of that age was suspicious. I've heard the Force can do terrible things to one's mind, but to brainwash them and preach their teachings upon you? The Jedi only seem to follow their set of rules only when it suits the Order. I wonder what Revan's reaction was when they discovered the truth. Revan promised to build an empire under the insignia of the Star Forge, returning the glory of the Rakatan Infinite Empire. It seems I was correct in my theory of the Sith Empire and Rakatan logo being that of the Star Forge. And the second time, to defeat Revan's apprentice Darth Malak. I am unaware if they succeeded in their task. Nevertheless, the Rakatan Empire faded into obscurity once again. Then let me carry the name forward. There was a moment of thought as the machine calculated its equation. The Star Forge is the glory of the builders, the apex of their infinite empire. It is a machine of invincible might, a tool of unstoppable conquest. If it is found again, the echo of the Rakatan Empire shall be heard across the galaxy. This is acceptable. The holoprojector turned off, and the star map opened its 3 pincers. The orb hovered, illuminating the forest as it revealed the galaxy. I recorded the information, obtaining all but one vital piece of the puzzle. The Madclaw growled. I have kept my end of the bargain, historian. Now it's time to keep yours. Yes, you've benefited the Empire more in this moment than you could ever have possibly have done in servitude. I turned around to Dauntilla and the stormtroopers. This Wookiee of the area is now under protection of the Imperial Reclamation Service. No Imperial nor Trandoshan are to harm or interfere with him or the machine. The Madclaw roared in gratitude and guided us back through the Shadowlands. As our surroundings got brighter and the beach in view, the Madclaw growled a goodbye and disappeared in the overgrowth. With one star map left to obtain, my next destination was the homeworld of the Sith, Korriban.